Test 1, 2. Morning, guys. So I actually don't have anything specific to say in this one, but I've kind of been on this kick of like morning creativity. Like, since I've been doing such a good job of this consuming less piece in the equation for creative freedom, and I still need to make that video. But have I showed you guys this yet? Have I drawn this out? Maybe I'll just show it to you here because I'm basically working on like writing down my whole philosophy for creative freedom. And I've kind of been writing this, I don't know, maybe it'll be an ebook or a PDF or something, but basically I've discovered that there are these integral components in order to achieve creative freedom. Okay? And one of them is consuming less, and consuming less goes hand in hand with inner work, because when you consume less, there's like open space where you can sit in silence and stillness and meditation. And the combination of those two things are so important for creating more. And as an example, I've been doing a good job, relatively, of getting off my phone at a reasonable time, not filling my life with mindless scrolling and endless consumption. And I've been doing a really good job of my twice daily meditation sessions. And I made a whole video showing you what my meditations have been looking like, how I've been thinking about that. And it's creating this tremendous space for creativity. And it seems that, when I wake up, especially after like getting through the whole night with just peace and stillness and recharging and retreating into myself, there's so much room for creativity to emerge. And it's emerging like right when I wake up. And I've been, doing my morning meditation first, 10 to 20 minutes, making a coffee, and then I find I just have so much writing pouring out on my Instagram stories. And then I often naturally just kind of want to get on the camera and chat as well. So just going to lean into that. And I'm breaking through this pattern because in my past way of creating, I would I wouldn't allow myself just to get on camera and record a YouTube video if I didn't really know what I was going to say. But I'm kind of leaning into trusting, okay, if there's this desire to get on the camera here, why not just lean into that? Maybe something's going to come out. And it's been really cool. I've really been admiring my studio. That took a lot of work, a lot of experimentation. And now all of a sudden, even my background looks really cool. Like, I got the string lights in the other room. That was not intentional as part of the studio. But once I had this camera here, I did put the guitar here and the plant here on purpose. Not sure how I feel about the plant, but yeah, it's been really cool to have a system where I can just jump on and express myself and share myself. I've been talking with one of my mentors lately, and he's got this beautiful philosophy that, when you constrain your wisdom into a format, like if you have some creativity storming that wants to come through, and if you like force it into what you think a YouTube video format has to be, yes, there can be some benefits to that. It can do well in the algorithm. You can spread your message further, but you're also diluting it a little bit. Like, why do we all have this idea that we need to constrain everything into these formats? And what if things can just be this open flow? And what if you're able to tap into like a deeper, more nuanced wisdom and like information transfer that way, right? So it's something interesting that I'm thinking about. It's something I'm experimenting with a video like this, where it's just letting me explore what's in my brain out loud, as opposed to forcing it into a format. And I've been actually experimenting that with all of my work. So even with my one-on-one mentorship program, I'm trying to experiment not calling it coaching. But even I'll just call it coaching for now. Even in my one-on-one coaching, where I'm helping people unlock creative freedom, as well as my community coaching, I'm experimenting with not forcing a framework or a step-by-step process, but actually just entering this open exploration of, okay, let's get into this sauce. Let's get into the work. Where are the stuck points? How are we going to get those out of the way? Where do you want to go? How are we going to get you there? So playing with leaning into a more fluid and open style, really just, yeah, leaning into that has been super, super interesting for me to try out. Like I said, in social media posts, in my work that I do, this has definitely been coming up on Instagram as well because I've realized like, yeah, when I want to post an Instagram reel, oh, like sometimes it's really fun for me to like make an Instagram reel. Like the other day, um, I made one that was kind of like reels format. It was me sitting down to meditate and I put some music on it. My phone's on 1%. Will I be able to show you? Yeah, this was kind of a reels format. It's like music, there's just some text, very, very quick. But so often, just like in a YouTube video like this, you know, I just want to talk for a while. I don't want to do the whole, hack the algorithm thing on Instagram Reels. I have something that's, actively storming, actively being learned. It's too big. It's like this. It's not like this, or it's not ready to be like this. Um, so that's an idea I've really been playing with, and you know, can you still reach your people if you don't play that constraining that game of rigidity and constraining into a format? And what I'm finding personally is, you know, yes, definitely you can. And in fact, and I just wrote about this in my newsletter that went up this morning. You could subscribe to that using the link in my description. The newsletter is actually a great, great way to tap into my work and what I'm doing because it's an email subscription. It creates a direct link between us. We don't have to rely on algorithms to keep that connection there. So consider that if you like what I'm doing here. What was I about to say? Crap. Wait, it will come back. I was saying something I just wrote in my newsletter, then I distracted myself plugging myself. Dang it. All right, got it. So I was talking about, if you're not playing that game of constraining into what the algorithm wants or constraining into a formula or whatever it is, can you still like effectively reach people? And what I was saying was, and this is what I touched on in my newsletter, yes, you can, but it's different. So if I'm not playing these algorithm games all the time, I'm not going to be blowing up in the algorithm, reaching tons and tons of people. But the more real I am, the more real and authentic I am, and just sharing the message that wants to be shared, it might be less people, but the connections with those people are very, very real. When I'm not hiding behind this influencer game, it's like, no, I'm really putting myself out there. So the people who are connecting, it's like we are, it's more of like a real relationship. And, in fact, I might as well read something I posted on my Instagram story this morning. And this is actually something this is a download that came in during a conversation with one of my clients because he had this creative idea that he wanted to share on his Instagram. Um, there was some hesitation there, potentially fear of judgment from others, but he ended up leaning into this creative idea, trying this new format, expressing himself the way that he wanted to online. And he shared with me that, you know, some of the people in his world actually expressed like really positive, they really liked it, they really supported him, they really accepted him. And here's what I wrote on my Instagram story relating to that. And I just wrote this morning, part of this creative outpouring. When you share your truth, you give others the opportunity to accept you at the deepest level. You'd be surprised. Certain people you expected to judge or criticize you might open their heart to you. They might accept you completely. Then you've formed a real relationship. And this is one of the most beautiful experiences there is. So please give yourself this opportunity. It's possible people might reject you. Your light might be too dazzling for them, but it's not worth wearing a mask in fear of this rejection. Walk alone as long as you have to. Hold true. You will find your people. So, yeah, when you embrace creating how you want to, showing up how you want to, being authentic, yeah, people might reject you. People in your life, your friends, your family might reject you. But when you are true, when you do what you want to do in this life, when you show up how you want to, you do give people the opportunity to accept you. When you're wearing a mask and withholding your expression, you don't even give anyone the opportunity to accept you. And I really need some water. There's no water in there. Oh, here. And guys, the people that you think are not going to accept you when you embrace yourself and show yourself, they might. They might. You'd be surprised. And then this really beautiful thing happens where it's like, oh my God, I don't have to hide in front of this person. Like, they actually accept me, and that is basically love. That is real love, deep, deep acceptance. One of the most important things to experience in this human form. And it's so important to push through your fears and speak your truth, share your art, share your expression. It requires a lot of bravery and a lot of risk to embrace your true self. But when you do that, yes, you might face a lot of rejection, this purging effect that I think I've shared here. That deserves a dedicated video if I haven't, the purging effect, but I think I've touched on that well enough. Oops. But then what happens, is you start to form real connections, real connections with people, deep connections, human connections, and one, that's beautiful in itself, but two, if you want to, then on the creator path, the creative freedom path, which is what I'm really passionate about teaching, teaching and inspiring, that's a real sustainable audience. You know what I mean? If you're a creator and you're building an audience, and from that you can build a real sustainable, authentic, aligned business. There's a lot of opportunities, and that's what I'm stepping into now. There's a lot of opportunities in life that open up when you work through all this fear and doubt, and you embrace yourself, and you become willing to face rejection. You become willing to face the purge. You become willing to walk alone for a while. Okay, and it's the create more piece when you have the consume less and the inner work piece. I also have community and mentors here as important components, but when you have these pieces, you can create or show up in this world in authenticity, how you want to show up, without performing, without people pleasing. And then, not only do you give others this opportunity to accept you, you also start to inspire others and uplift others. And it's this very cool, harmonious system, but it takes a lot of work to build this kind of inner strength, And that's what I'm passionate about, is sharing and teaching and inspiring this whole holistic system, because it's been so wonderful for me. And it requires me showing up and doing the work every single day, the work on myself, the authentic expression work, watching my bad habits so I'm not consuming too much, doing my meditation, etc. And, showing up and teaching now every single week. And what a beautiful journey it is. So if you'd like support on your creative freedom journey, whether you want to start a YouTube channel, let your expression out on Instagram. Whatever your dreams and goals are, I'd love to chat and support you. I have multiple offerings where I can assist you. I'm now offering a free 30-minute brainstorming and connection call. Info for that is in my description. Now, I do want to give you a heads up, this is a low pressure call, but it is to explore if we want to work together. I had some people booking recently, which, don't get me wrong, I'm flattered, and they just really wanted to have an informal chat just to meet me, but that's not really what it's about. It's more, let's explore where you're at in your journey and see if I can help you get to the next level. So if you're interested in that, the booking link is in the description. And thanks so much for watching this one, and I'll see you soon. Bye.